Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Endless Space 2. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and we are the Unfallen, the Tree People. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for boldness. We are being attacked by 3 different races. The Horatio, the Lumeris, and the Cravers. Not only that, but we are up in a northwestern, although obviously that makes no sense whatsoever in space, but as far as on the screen, part of the galaxy, while down here to the east, the Cravers and the Lumeris are expanding unopposed. So they have the ability to continue growing their empire as long as our war is a stalemate. The only way for us to survive is to defeat them, because we have to get through them to get to the other planets. Our allies, unfortunately, while very friendly to us, which is nice, don't seem to be interested in continuing their expansion. You can tell because these planets here are still white, which means that no one even has a outpost on them. But if you look around over here, you'll notice that there are outposts on Thea, Rigel, Muzis, Orm. So the other powers are definitely expanding. Now, between the last episode and this one, thanks to your helpful hints and some research that I've done on my own, I have learned a lot of cool stuff about Manpower. And one of those things is that armor, it's like paper, rock, scissors. Armor trumps infantry, infantry trumps air, and air trumps armor. And because it appears that no one else really has air at this point, it is in my best interest, I believe, to improve my armor percentage. So we're going to go 70% armor, 30% infantry for right now. We might have to change that, but I also think it's a good idea to upgrade it to plus 20% armor damage. And quite possibly 50% damage against infantry. And now we're down to... I don't know why we have all these supplies all of a sudden. Like, for example, we have tons of adamantium, but we don't, unfortunately, have enough antimatter for this next stage. I don't know why it's letting us click it. Actually, yeah, none of these we can actually pick. I'm not sure why it's telling us our Empire resources are only 5 antimatter, but we can click each of these. Maybe that just means this is what... Frankly, I don't know what it means. But it has to say done in order for you to have it. So 50% damage plus air doesn't make any sense right now, but 20% infantry health would. Although we're lowering the percentage of infantry. We might want to do that, though. Actually, you know what? We should do it. I'm not sure what we have to do to actually confirm. Okay, good. It's done. Wonderful. All right, so actually I'm going to raise our infantry back up to 50%. And the reason why is because our infantry is awesome. They have plus 20% health now, plus 10% damage. So our armor is good, but it's not fully upgraded. We need to get, basically we need to get some antimatter and more adamantium. So we're going to focus on that. Nope, I didn't save it. Actually, 60-40. Let's do that. Okay, cool. And now we have 2 new ships as well. We have a light ship and a fire ship, which is good. All right, how do we get here? Right click. All right, perfect. Okay, so in order for us to win in a war against 3 other empires at once, we have to root out the problem and belief in ourselves. So what's going on right now? We are currently sieging Wrath, that currently has an outpost of another empire. I actually want it to turn into a real planet, because then we can just invade it. Otherwise, we have to vine it. Although we do have vine ships on the way, I guess. We do. So I guess we're going to try to start finding it up, but it isn't absolutely necessary. We did conquer Mahogany. There are some Horatios heading there, but we have a fleet there ready to make their days really, really bad. So that's the tactical situation. I think the smartest move for right now, because they're our closest neighbor and they are pretty much hidden from the rest of the universe, is to take out Horatio. But the problem with that is Horatio, because he is a clone, is very good at breeding. And you can see that his populations on all these planets are incredibly high, which means we need tons of manpower to take him down. The Cravers, by comparison, are all very low. So we need to worry about increasing our manpower. And in my research, I found out that increasing manpower can be done by increasing the overall food production of your empire, and also through some system improvements. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, and we're also going to be focusing on the usual stuff, like, for example, the Chain Gang program, and there's another one called Exotic Rations that we're going to look into as well, because unfortunately we did get some Riftborn mercenaries, but they don't have enough manpower to continually supply us with more, so we have to create our own, which means farms. So that's that. Let's move on. Kind of a slow intro there. Sorry about that. But I needed to kind of get everything out on the table. Okay, we have some more Gossamer. And some more Adamantian. And the Academy has increased in power. Okay, a listening outpost on the far edge of your territory has picked up a garbled communication and sends an urgent message up the chain of command. Someone is leaking military secrets to a rival empire and could jeopardize upcoming offensive operations. The message and its origins are unclear, but a digital forensics team is able to pinpoint one clue: that the attached files contain metadata originating from the terminal of an artillery officer of one of your minor civilizations, of which we have many. I believe the Amoeba, the Hisho, the Mavros. Do we have the Mavros? No, we probably don't. The Cravers got them. But we have the Hiroshim. And I think oh, the Calgaros. We have the Calgaros. So, okay. The soldier's record is exceptional, but there have always been those who complained at allowing someone, an outsider, someone who is an outsider, probably is what they're trying to say, to rise so high in military command. So we can start a trial, which will lower our happiness, but improve our militarist and improve our... I forgot already what this... It's like diplomacy, Yeah, diplomacy. And refusing the trial will improve the happiness of our empire, but lower our diplomacy. And increase pacifist. And coincidentally, the intelligence team reports the traffic they were monitoring has suddenly gone silent, but with no more evidence, it will be impossible to root out the traitors. We're just going to refuse the trial. There's absolutely no reason for our particular empire to do the other one, because we have plenty of influence. That's the word I was looking for. We have plenty of influence, and it's not going to improve our military any to hold the trial, so we're just going to let the guy go. Okay, what is this now? This is Mahogany, and we can get enough scrap, so let's do it. Should we attack Lumeris or Horatio? Lumeris is a bigger fleet. One frigate, and so we're going to go with power to shields, because they are a laser vessel, and we won decisively. Alright, theoretically you would think if this were real life you could take on both fleets at once, but hey, whatever. We gained an Unfallen in Apple. We lost an Unfallen in Redwood. Now, why is Redwood losing population? Like, what is the reason for that? What's funny is it doesn't really say. They're happy. Population is growing. In fact, we're going to get a Calgaro next. But why are we losing Unfallen? Like, normally you lose population because you can't feed them, or because the Vodiani, who aren't in this game, are stealing their souls. I guess it must be because of food. But that's really strange, because we have built, as you can see here, we've built all the food things. So why is food so low? I guess because all these planets are kind of crappy when you consider food. But we are growing. Like, see, the population will grow in 2 turns. So I honestly don't know. If you, in the comments, if you want to tell me why we're losing population, I truly would love that. Thank you. For right now, though, we're going to move some population. Hot, sterile, hot, sterile. So it doesn't really matter. The Calgaros do better on fertile, but we don't have a fertile. So we're just going to move them. We'll move a Calgaro over to Redwood 1. Because these 2 planets, I believe, will grow population faster because they're nicer planets in general. Of course, I think that's lowering our food even more, but that's okay. We'll work on that. Now, eco-habitats won't necessarily give us more food. Luxuries, lottery. That actually... No, we only have 1. Well, we have 2 luxury deposits, technically, even though they're the same luxury. So I wonder if that counts as 2, because that would make these people really happy, even though they're already at 100% happiness anyway. Ah, whatever. We need to just do something quickly here. You know, just to keep everyone on edge, we're going to build a bunker. Because they are kind of in the heart of the Empire. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a manpower thing. Oh wait, this is different. This is a different system entirely. Come on, Marcus. You're better than this. Alright, Hath. More chain gang. Birch. Okay, we got rid of the metallic waters, which was fantastic. So that has been taken off the table. We could colonize this ash planet, but we have no population. Even if this one's colonized. Let's move this guy over here. Come on. So at least each planet has someone on it. Let's search this subterranean and let's, wow, no farms for this one either. How are the happiness? They're not very happy at all. So we'll build the infinite supermarkets as well. Apple. Alright, well, we're full on this planet, as you can see. We have cyberflora, so we can start colonizing. Let's colonize the steppes. And the toxic has a single moon and hostile fauna. That'll lower food, science, and happiness. So we'll wait on that. We'll colonize this one. And we'll also make some bunkers. Since this is kind of in the middle, and it looks like there's a Horatio fleet actually heading for it right now. What's the manpower like here? 100% efficiency. We have 200 manpower. Alright. That's cool. And that's it for right now. We're gonna combine these 2 fleets together. And that way, when the Cravers get here, we should be able to take them on. Then we have this... our Vine ship is actually heading the wrong direction. They're heading away from Wrath. Who is this? Enemy Horatio fleet. Alright, let's take them out. Oh, it's a civilian transport fleet. Wow, that's not the nicest thing in the world for us to do, but we did get some dust out of it. So that's cool. This fleet must be completely out of manpower. No, it's at full manpower. I guess you can't invade an outpost. But they're going to be a real system in just 1 turn, so that's fine. Alright, Mahogany. These guys are just going to hang out. And Kuma. Let's do it. Alright, what do they have? All laser. All laser, so we're going to go power to shields. And a decisive victory. Which now means that we can invade. Alright. So they have potentially more manpower, depending on what they choose, but we have more armor. So plus 400 max damage done to defender. Okay, that's good. 25% improvement destruction. I don't really care much about that. Population death, again, that kind of sucks. But negative 30% manpower deployment limit. Whereas Gorilla will give us more health, but less damage. And Blitz will improve the manpower deployment limit, but give our troops less health. Well, I don't think we're at the manpower deployment limit. Maybe we are, because we're 700 to 700. Let's back out of here real quick and look at the fleet itself. The fleet has... I'm not sure what the fleet has. It says here that it has 0% manpower. That don't make sense. Huh, but that is what it says. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just do it. We'll do what we're used to, the bombing. Let's take a look at it. Ground battle at Kuma. Alright, we have a lot more armor, as do they. Looks like we have Hisho, which was noticed by some of the commenters. Whoa, they have a ton of armor too. They have them on giant, look like dinosaurs. We're getting just destroyed here. Why is that? All evidence was that we were going to clean house, but look at that. They're barely even getting hurt. Our armor's doing a good job staying alive. Our infantry didn't last but a second. Alright, major defeat. Why? Why was it a major defeat, though? Let's look at... Oh, I thought there was a details button that would show you more details about the battle. So we only have 15 armor. We lost all of our infantry. They did conscription. Okay, so that increased their manpower a lot. But they lost a bit of population as a result of that. That seems to be a good strategy, though, on their part. We're going to retreat. I'm not going to waste more troops. I'm not going to throw good troops after bad troops. Instead, we're going to head on back to Birch and get some more troops. We'll figure something out. When you're fighting against 3 different empires, you really don't want to screw around and waste troops when you don't have to. Alright, these guys are around Temos. Temos is down to 3. We should be able to take it. I mean, God willing. We're going to do guerrilla on this one. Or I should say the heart willing, technically, because that is our god, so to speak. Alright, well, they're not wasting their time. They're bombing us. We have dudes with guns, too. Are those, I wonder if those are Lumeris. Can't really tell. We have a bunch of different guys here. Looks like we are getting the better of this battle. One thing the information I found on the internet said is that the longer you besiege a system, every turn they lose 10% of their manpower. Alright, so it looks like we didn't win outright. We had a major victory, though. And they did lose a population point. So next turn, we should have this one. This system is being invaded. That's good. Alright, cool. We got some quadrinics. And some antimatter. Oh, good, we need some of that. And some orichalcics.
Our friendship is something pure, isn't it?
The exchange of consumer goods for mutual profit is more satisfying than we first imagined, and useful. Yeah, these guys are like the trader empire, actually. More so than Lumeris. They have trade stations built everywhere. Alright, guerrilla on Temos. It should belong to us now. We don't need to watch it. Decisive victory, and the planet belongs to us. And one thing we're going to do, too, is take out their fleet. Power to shields. Alright, done. Okay. So Temos. Yeah, you belong to me now. Wow, this planet is a mess. It's got meteor strikes. You could see them flying down at it. That's something. But it also has the Fallen Guardians, which is a space graveyard for vast structures of unknown provenance. That's this thing, I guess, right here, which provides bonus industry and less ship cost. Perfect. So this should definitely be a ship production system, but right now it's just a system we need to keep alive. We also have another Garden of Eden, which is fantastic. And so it already has sustainable. Now, see, here's the first thing I'm wondering. There's better farms than this. So why can't I create more farms? That's really weird. Like, why all of a sudden is sustainable farms the only farm we can do, when I know for a fact we've unlocked other farms than that? I don't know. Regardless, we have to do something here to protect this place. They have very poor industry for some reason. So, plus 10% per planet. That's a good one. With strategic deposits. Okay, we have antimatter, but that's all I can see there. So we'll do Xeno and interplanetary. We'll pay for them. Right now we have 2 units of Lumeris, which is, ooh, wow, plus 3 dust on fertile. That's, none of these are fertile, unfortunately. That's funny, though. How can you be the Garden of Eden and not fertile? That doesn't even make any sense, but whatever. So now Temos, oh, that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to rename it, too. Temos is now Alder. Alright, cool. And we gained some Unfallen, always good. Redwood. Alright, we've got our bunkers. Food here is a little low, too. I guess I need to do some research and get some better food buildings. What is this? Terraform. Well... what? Okay, so let's just think about this a second. What is Redwood's purpose? So we have Savannah, which has pretty good dust output. Dust and industry, really. Then we have Arid, which also has a Garden of Eden. So that has really good dust and industry, and a little extra of everything and happiness. This planet has tons of dust and industry. And this one has tons of industry, but very little dust. So I think I want this system to do double duty. I think I want it to be a dust and industry system, which means maybe terraforming the Savannah at some point. Well, I guess we don't really need to. It still does pretty well with base output. Like, I don't see the point to terraforming it. It does give -5 happiness, but that's actually better than the rest of these, because this one gives -15 happiness, this one gives -10, though the anomalies are helping. Interesting. Alright. So what do we want to do here? What we want to do really is build ships. Yeah, that's a good idea, but let's take a look. At the end of this video, we'll end the video by looking at our new ships, our fire ship and our light ship, and just kind of seeing what we can do with them. Okay. So let's just close everything out here. So this is our light ship. This is an attack ship. Oh, actually, no, it's a coordinator ship. So we really got to focus on coordination. What the hell is this thing? I guess you can put anything here, since it doesn't seem to have a restriction like everything else. Alright, what's the duck? A support. Lower chance to be targeted? Increased chance to be targeted. Alright, I get that. So, for example, you have one ship that's all defense. You'd probably want to put this on it, and then you'd want to put this on, like, your glass cannon ships. That makes sense. But I'm going to do a more well-rounded ship type right now. So, let's focus on one thing at a time. This ship only has room for one weapon. 54. You know, I do like to make our defensive ships missiles as opposed to kinetic. But there we go. 20 damage per second plus 15 anti-missile. 32 damage per second plus 5%. Well, this is honestly a better choice. The only problem with the missiles is they lose their They lose their effectiveness at close distance, whereas the kinetics don't, but... Oh, you know what? We can do one of each. That looks good. Alright, now we have 3 defensive slots. So I think I know what to do here. Heart's Ward. That looks pretty awesome. Health bonus, shield capacity, energy defense. It does require antimatter, which we have very little of. Yeah, I think I want to stay away for right now. I want to stay away from things that require antimatter. This requires a little bit of titanium. Health bonus 40. Shield capacity 330. So this is a shield. So it would take the place of the basic plasma shielding. 10, 120, 12. Boy, this is much better. And then we'll do basic reactive plating. You know, a lot of our enemies are using lasers these days. Maybe it's better to have two shields. 40 health bonus. It has a worse health bonus, though. Critical hit. Oh, this one's tough, but I think we'll go with 2 shields. Alright. And now the coordinator role. So we're going to coordinate some stuff with this guy now. Increases flotilla crew destruction. So this increases the crew destruction of our entire fleet, which is actually kind of cool. It can only be installed in this kind of ship. Let's see. More manpower, but the problem is not our fleet manpower. The problem is our system manpower. Destructive salvager. Nano repair bots would be helpful. Attracts fire from enemy to protect the other ships. Yeah, so this guy is going to be taking hits. So we probably want the repair. We also need an engine, of course. Here we have Hyperium. Fleet movement points 1. We actually really want both of those. You know, we might... I'm having a thought that we should put the missiles here, or, I'm sorry, here, and then use this for another support slot. Specifically, something that benefits our entire fleet. Like, where'd it go? There we go. The flotilla shield capacity and energy defense. So this ship basically is not really going to be doing much damage. Its role is really just to benefit the rest of the fleet. Which would be the fire ship. Now this ship is just meant to kill everything. So at first it does need an engine, and it needs to have the same engine as the other ship. But that's where the similarities end. So now we're going to do some defense. We're going to do... Okay, we have... Strangely enough, this one has more defensive slots. Even though it's an offensive ship. That's weird. So we'll have 2 shields. And... Whoa. And 2 of that. And now for attack, so we're going to have... all kinetic. Alright. So this ship has great defense on its own, can speed up with the rest of the fleet, but is all attack, and the other ship, when in tandem with this, will benefit it and make it stronger. I think that's good for right now. So our fire ship and light ship. So basically we want a fleet that includes at least 1 light ship and all the rest fire ships. Hopefully 2 light ships, but I know that they take up more fleet power than... Yeah, this you can have 7 of these in a fleet, or however many we're allowed to have. They only take up 1 fleet slot, is what I'm trying to say, whereas these ones take up 3 each. But we've upgraded them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so next episode, we're going to hopefully build some of these new ships and put them into action. We're finally getting a little bit ahead here, and we need to focus on manpower, which means farms, which means research into new farms. And I guess I'm going to have to start respecting the farm. But luckily for us, our heroes and our nation are pretty good at farming, being as we are giant trees. Which actually doesn't make sense, because usually people cut down trees in order to make a farm. But hey, look, maybe we're gathering the food, like berries. I don't know. Either way, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'm Marcus Aurelius once again. This is Endless Space 2. We are the Unfallen. Have a good one.